Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to day 2 of the What's on Tap Advent Calendar. It's a very special day because it's day 2.
Is day 2 extra special?
It is because we have another day of drinking beer.
Day 2. So day 2 needs to be twice as good as day 1. And then day 3 needs to be twice as good as day 2. And that means that Christmas will be the billion.
So what we're doing is we're changing the calendar this year to where every day we just add one more beer.
Oh my God. We drink 2 beers today.
We drink 2 beers today. And then tomorrow we're going through day 23 or day 24 is going to be real tough.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Also tough to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's stick to one beer. You want to get right into it?
Let's do it. All right. So you brought this one.
Yep. This one I wrapped.
I can tell. Because you went very traditional Christmas wrapping and did football patterns.
It is a football.
Or you could just say, no, it's a hexagonal geometric configuration.
Hexagonal chess piece.
Ooh. Nice. So you went all fancy on us. I've never actually seen this bottle before. This is the...
You haven't?
Not the Armand and Gaston Cuvee Vintage.
Yes.
Ooh, vintage.
2017 Armand Gaston Vintage version.
And it was bottled in 2017?
It would have been bottled in 2017, yes.
Yes, because there's a 20-year date on it, so
yeah.
That's what I'm guessing. And since it's not 2027, I'm guessing it wasn't 10 years.
Yeah, you can also see on the cork, it says 1617.
It does.
And for regular ones, that means brewed, it's geuze, so it's like 1, 2, 3 years, but made during the 16 into 17
right.
season.
But when would this have been released?
About 17.
But 2017.
Or 18,
right. Okay.
maybe.
So what makes this the vintage as opposed to just a Cuvée Armand and Gaston?
I should.
Too many questions.
You're asking the right questions.
I am asking the right
to the
questions.
right person, but who didn't do any research.
Oh my gosh! You only have one job. And that's to know everything about J. Fonteinen beers.
Yes. Let's see here.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to open this bad boy up here. Oh. Do you keep the cage? Are you keeping this cage like you do already?
I don't need to.
Okay.
But they for each vintage they like select one that's their favorite kind of. There's also Udgås vintage, which is a series.
I've tried the Udgås vintage. Yeah. I think I just finished the last one of those. Those are always. It's always the small bottles, right? They don't do big bottles.
They used to do big bottles when it was paper labels.
Oh.
It's nowadays it's more often smaller bottles for some reason.
Okay. All right. So
it's like a little bit more special Armand Gaston, to be honest. It's the one that they selected from 17 to keep because they make a lot of different blends.
Right. So there's one blend that's better than all the others, and like this is the one that's going to be the earmark of this year. This is like when people say Armand and Gaston 2017. This is the one we want them to remember us by.
Okay, so a common question among lambic enthusiasts is: are Udgås and Udgås Vintage different beers? Both beers are brewed and blended to initially be released as Udgås. The decision to identify if the beer will be released as Udgås Vintage occurs as it develops and is at the brewery's discretion.
Right. So it's kind of like so when I was in Portugal this summer, we went to one of these port wine places.
Yeah.
And when we did the tour, they were like, well, every year, it might not be every year that they have a vintage version, but there is every few years, there's one batch that comes out and you're just like, this is perfect.
Yes. Exactly. So I'll rephrase. This was released in 2020, 3 years afterwards, because they held it back specifically to make it the vintage 2017.
Okay.
When they made it, they made a decision like, this is the one that will develop. Hold it back, hold back. Don't release it yet. Release all the other ones as fresh. Woo, it's so citrusy. So yeah, that's the real answer.
Okay, well that's kind of what I assumed. So how would you describe this?
The smell.
Because I don't get the like the tart apple and the lemon and everything off the nose like you normally get.
But having that said, it's 7 years old now.
True, but we've also had
Poland.
7-year-old
Yeah.
J. Fontainens that had those notes.
On the nose, you filled my glass really wide, so I can't put my nose into the glass really.
I mean, you can treat this like cocaine. Go ahead, just start doing lines of it.
I get a small hint of nail polish varnish as I would get from but I had a Duchesse de Bourgogne like yesterday, so my nose might still be affected
by that, tainted by that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's a pretty rough smell.
But it's really nice.
Is this year's release really varnishy, or is it like some years you get it, you're just like, oh, this is tough. In other years you're like, this is a nice balance.
As far as I could tell, I got a 2023 Duchesse de Bourgogne from Sophia. That was kind of weird. I couldn't. Never mind.
All right,
let's try this instead.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But this is where you get more of. I mean, there are green apples and lemon in this one.
Yeah. You definitely get that from here. It's much more mild, I would say.
It is more mellow.
Yeah, I like the color. It's a little darker in color than you normally get from the 3F beers, which are a little more usually lighter straw kind of in color. This is much more of almost getting into the amber color profiles. Yeah, flavor-wise, you're definitely getting.
It is quite funky.
You're getting a lot of the citrus notes. I don't get a lot of the
green apple. More citrus.
Yeah, more citrus, slight green apple, but not like with Cantillon, when sometimes you get it and it's just like stinky cheese kind of.
Yeah.
Like there's what you would call a rich umami character to it.
But I don't get any cheese from this one.
No, I don't get any umami, and I don't really get a lot of those umami flavors from 3F geuze anyway. They tend to get more into the grassy, more fruity profiles in the geuze, whereas Cantillon, they can be quite umami forward, as we'll say. I remember one time I had a Cantillon that was fresh, and I was just like, this smells like really stinky tennis shoes, and it was almost undrinkable. It was rough.
But I'll be honest, this one tastes more like champagne than many other oud geuzes does.
I can see that.
It's kind of dry almost, but I like that. What I just why I was quiet and let you speak for 20 seconds is because I checked Untapped.
Oh,
it's interesting that you say that you've never seen this bottle before.
I've had 3 different bottles of this. No,
I've shared a bottle with you.
Have you?
4 years ago.
Woof. That's why I don't remember.
When it was newly released.
That's why I don't remember it.
My first bottle I opened together with you and Pontus and Björn's and friends of the show.
Well, that's nice. It was probably was it one of the big bottle shares, and it was one of like
I don't know. I had only
40 bottles at the time.
I had only tagged you, Pontus, and Björn. That probably means it wasn't one of the larger bottle shares, or more people would have been tagged.
Very possible.
Very possible. So now we're revisiting it 4 years later.
Yes, I do like the finish on this. Like you said, it's very dry, very clean. What you call a neat finish, and the aftertaste is I don't know. I don't know how to quite put words on it. It's very palatable in a way that it makes you want to drink more of it. I mean, that's all I can say. It's like
this one has held up nicely. It's developing, but it is on the some might not say mild, some might say balanced side. There aren't a lot of flavors that spike out into one direction.
Right.
Because we've had some that were like just, whoa, lemon.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case here. It's a nice... it's not a sipper because it's very drinkable.
I know. It's extremely drinkable. And that's kind of the problem is I got to remember to save some because I can take photos afterwards.
I'm really happy about this one. For me, this is somewhere between a 4.25 and a weak 4.5.
This is just straight up 4.25 for me. Yeah. I think it's great, a great revisit. So I'm super glad to try it again. Apparently.
Are you now ready to hear your previous rating?
Yes, I am.
4.5.
Ooh, well, I guess it's diminished by 4.25.
Well, you were probably drunk that time.
I was drunk with love for great Fonteinen beers.
But a 4.25 is a great rating for a Christmas calendar.
I agree. It's really, really good. 6.8% ABV. We didn't mention that before, but...
we did not.
2017, February the 14th. So Valentine's Day release on this beer.
Wow.
Oof, or bottling day, anyway. So thank you. We'll wrap it up here.
Wrap it up. Wrap. Like wrapped presents.
Exactly. We'll go wrap some presents after this. And then we'll see you tomorrow for day 3.
See you tomorrow.